This is how Xavi transformed Barcelona. This right here was Ferran Torres crying at full time in Barcelona's recent Europa League home clash against Napoli. This screams passion, desire and responsibility for how well or how far you're willing to go to defend your club's badge. Xavi has turned this Barcelona team from a group of football millionaires to proud Barcelona warriors. In a club which had previously been ever so distant from its identity, no passion, no desire, only just Manolas, Origi and H2 to an absolute force, Barcelona warriors. That's why Dani Alves simply refused to step on the club's badge. Pedri felt discomfort seeing Barcelona lose while he couldn't do anything about it. Ousmane Dembele rewriting his story despite all the boos and enduring the hatred from his own fans, and now new signing Ferran Torres broke down in tears after missing several chances. The old Barcelona is back. Not just because of tiki-taka football alone, but the remembrance of those who had previously made it possible for every single one of the players and fans to connect and become one. Xavi, the master orchestrator as a player, is once again at it, but this time as a manager. With this kind of vibe, who wouldn't want to be a Barcelona player once again? The legacy and identity is back. Barcelona is once again more than a club. But how did Xavi manage this? Xavi took over the reins as Barcelona manager on the 6th of November 2021, and the change was immediately felt. Genuinely fearing his image would be tarnished, I felt it was too early for the former midfielder to make the move back to a seriously unstable Barcelona side. After all, we've all witnessed the likes of Lampard and Solskjaer fail at their respective clubs, but something about Xavi is special though. Just like his predecessor Ronald Koeman, although Xavi's position is slightly better, the club had little money to sign players, which ultimately led them to chasing after less expensive, particularly younger players with massive potential, cheap loan targets, and in the case of Dani Alves, old veterans who could bring their past experiences at the club to the future generations so they can take one thing or two, so they can add it to the process of honing their skills. Xavi is a manager who's renowned for his ability to pay attention to smaller details that not many other people would have noticed. For example, he pointed out the not so obvious fact that Diego Maradona's statue, may his soul rest in peace, situated inside the Camp Nou, illustrated or appeared to show Maradona controlling the ball with his right thigh, despite the universally known fact that Maradona was left-footed. Xavi, just like his idol Guardiola, is a true student of the game and models his philosophy and approach to things on the legendary Johan Cruyff, may his soul rest in peace. And with the three men first managing Barcelona during difficult times, Barcelona has been suffering from a painfully amount of time now. The club was on a steady decline for the past few years, a decline which was massively accelerated due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That period was red-hot hell for the club. The club was in debt, which was as a result of several cases of financial recklessness from a surprisingly incompetent and allegedly corrupt boardroom, which was responsible for the complete disregard of the financial consequences of overpaying for players in the transfer market before they joined the club, and still overpaying the players after joining with the ludicrous amount of money they were being offered as salaries. But the final blow, however, came when they lost the greatest player in the club's history, Lionel Messi, to French outfit Paris Saint-Germain for free. More on that later in the video. Koeman was brought in to salvage the situation for them, and he did pretty well, ending his first season with a third place finish in La Liga. But the second season, however, was when the wheels came off and he was ruthlessly sacked midway through the season. His dream to become Barcelona manager was instantly made to turn into a nightmare, even tarnishing his Barcelona legacy in the process. Xavi brought what had already been lost due to clear emphasis on short-term success, and that is the club's identity. Due to the lack of insane financial backing, the Spaniard has brought in players from the club's famed La Masia in hope to discover the next Lionel Messi or Xavi Hernandez, as he has recently featured the likes of Gavi, Nico Gonzalez, Elias Akomach, Alex Baldi, and so on. He essentially decided to replace some of the big status ineffective players with young and vibrant players who were just simply happy to be playing for the Barcelona badge and what it represented, with proof being the time when Ferran Torres broke down in tears after missing multiple chances in their Europa League home clash against Napoli. The players know what it's like to play for the club, and with the constant uncertainty surrounding them and not being able to play the next match due to Xavi's tendency to change his team very frequently, the players know that they have to be at their absolute best at all times. Which brings me to the next point. Reported around the early times of Xavi's managerial reign at Barcelona that Xavi famously created his own version of the 10 commandments that Barcelona players had to strictly follow, which are: Number 1. The squad are expected to arrive at the training ground 90 minutes before training sessions begin. In today's day and age, not possible. Number 2. Staffs are expected to arrive at the training ground 2 hours before training sessions begin. Number 3. All players are expected to eat lunch at the club's training facilities, with club's nutritionist overseeing what is on the menu. Ooh, snap. Number 4. The return of a fine system that will see players penalized for misdemeanors, including showing up late. Ooh, that is not so good news for Aubameyang. Just saying. Number 5. Repeat offenses will see the fine double. Oh, reports were even stating that some of the players were owing the club a lot of money for repeating the same offenses. This is just crazy. Number 6. In the 48 hours before a game, players must be back home no later than midnight to ensure they are in the best possible condition on match days, leading to an orderly life on the eve of games. Number 7. Only those who impress in training will be selected in the starting 11, or XI as I like to call it. Others will remain on the bench or not be called upon at all. Number 8. If activities or obligations outside football begin to affect a player's life, then they will be monitored by members of the staff. Any private trips during the season cannot be sanctioned without the permission from the coach. Really wish to see this happen at PSG one day. Sorry Neymar. Number 9. Any activities deemed a risk to players' fitness or physical health will be outlawed. Electric bikes and surfing are just 2 of the activities no longer permitted by Xavi and will be considered as a complete breach of contract under his new regime. Number 10. Clean image is key. Everyone associated with the club, from backroom staff to players, will be expected to carry themselves in a manner befitting the club's history and traditions when in the public eye. Oh, PSG players, when they see this, will be like... Xavi, as a former player at the club, knows how important it is for players to be absolute professionals, and so this has really helped Barcelona, particularly Aubameyang, as apparently there have not been any cases of him misbehaving so far. Speaking purely based on his history at Arsenal, of course. Is it strict? Yes. Is it the best for the players? Well, that's slightly debatable, and I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comment section below. And, we've gotten to that annoying part of the video, so please smash like. Now back to Xavi paying attention to details. Before he arrived at the club, Barcelona were playing quite an undesirable style of football under Ronald Koeman, where their aim while in attack was to cross the ball into the box constantly to players who lacked the elite positional ability to capitalize on such opportunities. But under Xavi, their attacking moves have been absolutely slick, with a series of short, intricate passes and frequently intelligent runs to complement them. To some, this is the rebirth of tiki-taka football. And which other player is best to be the orchestrator of this than young Pedri Gonzalez? Barcelona's answer to Andres Iniesta. Pedri has recently garnered a lot of praise from the media and even from his manager. The 21-year-old who won the 2021 Golden Ball Award missed out on the first part of the season due to injuries and burnouts from playing over 70 matches last season. He played nearly every single La Liga match for Barcelona with the exception of one. He played every single match in Spain's Euro 2020 campaign and even followed them to the Olympics. Xavi's decision to model Johan Cruyff's approach has seen him constantly tell his players to go out and have fun, a famous line which Cruyff had used during the 1992 Champions League final against Sampdoria. This has been the major lesson taught in La Masia, but because Pedri wasn't from La Masia, he heard this from Lionel Messi himself, who once told him to have fun and play the way you know. He admitted that he was puzzled at first, and if it was anyone else that had told him, he would have ignored it. But since it was Leo, he listened, so it's no surprise to see Pedri playing like a typical Barcelona player, like he was tailor-made for the club. Players like Nico Gonzalez and Gavi have also risen through the ranks and are constantly impressing in every single appearance they make for the club. Xavi has been able to easily translate his ideas to these players mainly because of one man, and that man was Dani Alves. When Dani Alves decided to return to the club last year, many were not convinced he would deliver. Not only is he currently delivering right now, but he wasn't primarily brought into the club to play, but to act as a mentor for the young up-and-comers. He also emphasized that players, young players in particular, take care of their growth, and that it must occur organically as Messi did. A player who is 17 years old, you have to take care. Take care, take care. You can't put too much pressure on him right away. Speaking of Messi, when Messi gave that emotional announcement in the summer that he would be leaving the club after 2 decades of excellence, many Barcelona fans were naturally upset and many casual fans felt that they would be doomed without him. And of course, yes, they were indeed doomed without him, but under Koeman, not Xavi. You see, Messi staying would have still prolonged the inevitable. He would still have to leave at some stage in his career, most likely retiring from the club. For me, I think he left at the perfect time. He left at the time where rivals Real Madrid are still rebuilding their team and Atletico Madrid for some reason are not just doing great at the moment. Imagine Messi staying and the club continues to build around him only for him to inevitably retire one day and soon they start to crumble. You don't just lose a player that big and expect the team to still remain the same and be fine. Just ask Real Madrid when they lost Cristiano Ronaldo. Imagine Messi leaving at a time when Real Madrid already have both Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland, where Atletico Madrid finally starts to come back together. Now that would be catastrophic and would lead to many unfair managerial sackings, one of which could have been Xavi. Will Barcelona support Xavi when the going gets tough? We've seen this at so many clubs. Things go well initially for their club legends, but when things start to get tough, the image, legacy, and club legend status gets thrown out the window. Barca are in good form right now under Xavi. They're even already in the top 4. But if they suffer a minor blip, will those same supporters be chanting his name? This is unfortunately the new reality of football, a reality which every manager, including Xavi, were aware of before they took their respective jobs. So, let me pose this ultimate question to you. If Xavi finishes outside the top 4 and struggles at the start of the next season, will you or will you not call for the sack? Thank you all so much for watching. If you've made it this far, just want to let you know that you're an amazing person. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And just like that, the light goes out, stage closed, cameras off, go home. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'll see you all next time. Take care.